What's up guys, my name is Brandon and welcome back to the 23rd jailbreak update video, and these past few days have been crazy. So in this video we're going to talk extensively about the iOS 10.2.1 and the 10.3 jailbreaks, Luca Todesco's tweets, iOS 10.3.2, OS restore and some issues that came along with it, as well as Cydia extender and much more. And before we go any further with this video, I just want to encourage you guys to please click that bell icon down below next to the subscribe button. And I'm saying this because a lot of my recent videos have not been hitting sub boxes. I uploaded a video this morning and then another one last night. Neither one of them showed up in sub boxes, and it reflects in the view count and everything like that. So please go ahead and click that bell icon if you haven't done so already. Also follow me on Twitter. That's another great way to get notified when I post a new video. And this is also the reason that episode 5 of the Top Tweak series has been delayed. I've been getting a lot of questions on that, and the reason it's being delayed is because of the sub box issue on YouTube. All right, now let's get to why you clicked on this video. So I'm getting a ton of questions on the iOS 10.2.1 and the 10.3 jailbreak here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, everywhere. Numerous people are asking me on a daily basis about these jailbreaks, so I just want to clear the air once again. There is no jailbreak for iOS 10.2.1 or 10.3 planned, and we should not expect one to get released. However, and as I've said before, there is a better chance of a jailbreak coming for 10.2.1 than iOS 10.3 and above. And the reason for this is because Apple just recently released the security notes for iOS 10.3, and if you take a look at it, you can see that 10.3 patches numerous kernel bugs found by Ian Beer of Google's Project Zero, who of course used a couple of the previously patched kernel bugs to jailbreak iOS 10 through 10.2. So iOS 10.3 patches these kernel bugs, which means that obviously the bugs are still present on iOS 10.2.1, which of course is why we have a better chance of jailbreaking 10.2.1 than 10.3. With that being said, if you're on 10.3 right now, you need to downgrade to 10.2.1 using a tutorial that I just recorded last night and uploaded this morning, so that video will be in the cards right now. You also need to save your SSH2 blobs for 10.2.1, which again can be found in the cards and also in the description down below. And of course, if you're on 10.2 on an iPhone 7, just stay there. And speaking of blobs, Luca Todesco agrees and took to Twitter the other day to say that we need to save 10.2.1 blobs and stay there if you want to jailbreak. But as you can see in that same exact tweet, he says that he is done with jailbreaking. So a lot of people took this as he's releasing a jailbreak, even though in that same tweet, he said that he's done with jailbreaking. And then once people realized that he said he's done jailbreaking, people freaked out and were like, wow, I didn't know he was done jailbreaking. But we've known that all along here on the channel. We've talked about it numerous times in numerous jailbreak update videos that Luca said that he's been done with public research for months now. And also, if you remember back in the day, Luca said that he would never release a public jailbreak ever. The only reason he released the iOS 10 jailbreak is because the exploits and the bugs were already posted publicly by Ian Beer of Google's Project Zero. They were already out there online. So it wasn't like he had to use all of his zero-day exploits and create this jailbreak from scratch. Everything he's done prior to the iOS 10 jailbreak has just been very low-key and not public. And this includes the contributions to Pangu's jailbreaks. Speaking of Pangu, they will be at MOSEC 2017 this year, which is in a few months, and they could be demonstrating a jailbreak for either iOS 10.3 or iOS 11 when it's in its beta phase, beta 1 most likely. Because if you remember at MOSEC 2016, Pangu actually demonstrated the jailbreak for iOS 10 beta 1, which of course led to the 9.3.3 jailbreak because it was patched later on before the final version of iOS 10. So if Pangu does end up demoing a jailbreak at MOSEC 2017, there's of course always the possibility that it will be released to the public, to us, but based off last year, at MOSEC 2016, when they demonstrated the iOS 10 jailbreak and then never released it, it's somewhat discouraging. And I'm not saying it's not going to be exciting, it's just not going to be as exciting based on what happened last year. It'll be really cool to see if they do jailbreak iOS 11, and it's going to give us a lot of hope for a jailbreak for iOS 11. But it could be, a bad thing too. It could be like false hope. So hopefully they do demo a jailbreak and then maybe hint at a public jailbreak later on. And you guys already know I'm gonna have you covered when anything happens related to Pangu. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure to subscribe so you can get notified when anything happens with Pangu at MOSEC or later on when they possibly release a jailbreak. And by the way, I'm only mentioning Pangu because they are the most trustworthy and most known really team in the jailbreak scene right now. Because we already know that Luca won't be releasing another jailbreak, Taiji has been quiet, and some of these lower tier jailbreak teams aren't really capable of releasing such a big jailbreak like Pangu could. So yes, right now Pangu is our only hope, but that doesn't mean that there also aren't other teams working on a iOS 10.3, a 10.3.2 beta jailbreak. Who knows what some of these other unknown teams are actually working on right now behind the scenes and in private. Like I said, I'm sure there are multiple jailbreak teams that are working on a 10.3 jailbreak as I'm talking right now and as you're watching this. So to make a long answer short, no, don't expect an iOS 10.2.1 or a 10.3 jailbreak. Unless we get some sort of hint from Pangu or some other team that's actually noteworthy and trustworthy, then we shouldn't really, plan on a 10.2.1 or 10.3 jailbreak getting released at all. But of course, like I said, stay on iOS 10.2.1 just in case. I'd rather tell you guys not to expect a jailbreak and then a jailbreak to come and surprise us than to say expect a jailbreak and give you guys false hope and no jailbreak ever comes. Now let's briefly talk about the semi-restore tool called OS Restore, which I made a video on last week. So this video showed you guys how to remove your jailbreak while keeping your current firmware, and I'd say probably 97% of people did so without issue. However, there were about 3% of people who lost either a system application, had iCloud issues, or something related. And for any of those issues, I have links in the description of those videos, but as I always say, never expect everything to work perfectly. Everybody's devices are different. Everybody has different things installed. Just because something works for me and everybody that watches my videos doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And as I've said numerous times, OS Restore should only be used as a last resort. I'd say probably 98 to 99% of problems with Cydia or with your device can be resolved without a restore. Cydia Extender is another application that a lot of people have been having issues on. I even made a full video showing you guys how to fix some of the common errors, but people are still having issues. So if you are still having issues, make sure to reach out on Twitter and I will try my best to help you out. As for Cydia Eraser, there are no new developments in that just yet. We just know that it's coming, just not anytime soon, most likely. As for Spring Demise 3, nothing new on that just yet, but it should be here soon, I'd say within the next couple of weeks. And lastly, iOS 10.3.2. So if you didn't watch Tuesday's video where I talked extensively about iOS 10.3.2 and also 10.3.1, make sure to go ahead and watch that video. I'll have it linked in the cards right now and also down in the description below. Basically, iOS 10.3.2 was, in my opinion, released before 10.3.1 just because 10.3.1 is just a minor fix and it's being skipped over because it doesn't warrant any kind of beta testing. Now, there are other theories out there. That is just my theory and my opinion. This also means that the signing window for iOS 10.3 could close sooner than expected. It's going to kind of depend on if 10.3.1 gets released. And not only if it gets released, because I think it will get released, it's a matter of when it gets released and how it falls into the timeline. But of course, it's Apple. Nobody really knows what to expect at this point. So there you have it, guys. That is the latest on the iOS 10.2.1 and 10.3 jailbreak status, and also some stuff about Luca Todesco, Cydia Extender, OS Restore, and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you learned something and you're anticipating a 10.2.1 jailbreak, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do these videos all the time. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.